A $75 million fine by the FTC confirms the homework guy was right. Folks, this fine settlement hit a dealership group in April this year for $75 million. That's right, $75 million bucks. For years now, we've been warning car buyers about fake discounts, hidden dealer add-ons, payment manipulation, bait-and-switch pricing, and dealership advertising one number, then charging something completely different once you get inside the store. And now the Federal Trade Commission just went after one of the biggest dealer groups in America over these exact allegations. I'm talking about Lindsay Automotive Group, and according to the FTC and the Maryland Attorney General's office, this case allegedly involved deceptive pricing practices that may lead to over $75 million in consumer refunds. That's where those huge funds go, folks. They refund people who got ripped off by the dealership. $75 million worth. And the reason this story matters so much, because this wasn't some ancient case from 10 years ago. This thing just concluded in April of 2026. This is current. This is now. And it perfectly exposes the exact dealership shell game we've been warning buyers about for years. And what's particularly funny is how many dealer employees and car salesmen come on our channel to say, this stuff never happens. They could be right in their small little world. Now, in this story, according to regulators, the dealer group allegedly advertised prices online that did not include mandatory dealer add-ons and fees. Sound familiar? Because, folks, this is one of the oldest tricks in the car business. The online price becomes the bait. The real profit comes later. You drive to the dealership thinking, wow, this vehicle is thousands cheaper than everybody else. But once you arrive, suddenly the numbers start changing. Now you're hearing everyone has to buy this protection package. The reconditioning fee is mandatory. The security package is already installed and we can't take it off. The accessories can't be removed. The bank wants you to have it. That online price included rebates you don't qualify for. And before you know it, the dealership quietly transformed the deal into something completely different than what you thought you were buying. And this is exactly why buyers get emotionally trapped. Because by the time the real numbers show up, most people already test drove the car, pictured themselves owning it, sitting in their garage, invested hours into the process, emotionally committed to the vehicle, and dealerships know all that, especially crooked dealers like this one and the New York City Honda dealer in the Bronx and Eddie's Toyota of Wichita, Kansas. You're darn right we're throwing them all under the bus. It's where they belong. Dealers do this stuff because confusion is very profitable. Now, here's where this story gets really important. According to the FTC, the alleged conduct involved deceptive online pricing, hidden mandatory add-ons, financing-related issues, misleading discounts, and customers allegedly paying far more than expected. This is exactly why I constantly tell people the advertised price means nothing. The only number that matters is the out-the-door price. Total, complete, and in writing. Because dealerships love fragmented negotiations. They want to separate the trade, the payment, financing, rebates, dealer products, and monthly budget. And why is this? Because if buyers focus on pieces of the deal, the dealership can quietly move money around everywhere else. That's the shell game. And according to regulators, the shell game allegedly became a very expensive problem for this dealer group. Let me explain why this case is so different. This wasn't a bad Google review, a random customer complaint, or internet drama. This involved the Federal Trade Commission, the Maryland Attorney General's office, massive financial penalties, and sweeping changes demanded by the regulators. That's a huge deal because for years, buyers have complained about hidden fees, payment packing, fake discounts, junk add-ons, mandatory products, and dealership pressure tactics, just to name a few. Sound familiar? And now regulators are publicly describing many of the same behaviors we've been warning people about online for years. This validates everything we've been teaching on this channel. Now listen carefully. This story is not just about one dealership group. That's the bigger lesson. This is about a system that too often rewards confusion because the more distracted the buyer becomes, the easier it is to bury products into loans, extend loan terms, manipulate payments, inflate back-end profits, and quietly raise the total transaction cost. That's why dealerships love asking, what monthly payment are you trying to stay around? Because once buyers answer that question, the negotiation often stops being about price. Now it becomes about payment engineering, and that's how people end up trapped in 72-month or 84-month loans, negative equity, overpriced warranties, inflated gap insurance, and thousands of dollars in junk products. Sadly, this scenario is not unusual. I wish it was, but it's happening everywhere, all around this country. There are just tons of dealers who haven't been caught yet. And folks, this is exactly why at the Homework Guy, our entire hassle-free car buying service exists. We're doing this because people like you asked us to. We help clients negotiate real out-the-door pricing, identify hidden fees, spot junk add-ons, avoid predatory dealer tactics, review paperwork, and stop thousands of dollars from disappearing into dealership profit centers. Our coach does all of that so you don't have to. Because transparency in a car deal should not feel impossible, and if a dealer refuses to give you a clean, written, out-the-door price, that tells you everything you need to know. If you want help from our team, go to thehomeworkguy.com and click that big red button for the hassle-free car buying service. We do all the work so you don't get played. And if you want more videos exposing what really happens inside dealerships, make sure you follow now because, trust me, we're just getting started.